Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You guys miss me because today I will be uploading a new video on my YouTube channel, and the video is to instill awareness on the roles of young teachers in shaping a sustainable Madani society. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Nushahira Nabila from IPG Campus Temanggung Ibrahim. And as a trainee teacher, I've been thinking a lot lately. Are we really just preparing to teach lessons, or are we actually preparing to shape people? Because here, the more I learn, the more I realize that teaching is not only about content, it's about influence. And that influence is powerful, especially for us as young teachers. When we enter the classroom, students don't just see us as educators. They see us as someone who is close to their world, someone they can relate to, someone they observe closely, and sometimes even someone they quietly admire. And that's why everything we do matters more than we think. For example, it's not just about what we teach, but how we react. The way we respond to a student who makes a mistake, the way we handle stress, the way we speak to others. All of these small moments actually shape how students understand respect, responsibility, and also empathy. And that's where I started to understand what building a Madani society really means. And that is where I started to understand what building a Madani society really means. It's not something big and distant. It starts from simple everyday actions inside the classroom. At the same time, I think we are in a very unique position as young teachers. We are more exposed to current issues, things like environmental problems, mental health awareness, and social responsibility. These are not just topics in textbooks anymore. They are real and they affect our students directly. So instead of teaching lessons in isolation, we can start connecting them to real life. Even a simple question like, how does this topic relate to your daily life, can make students think differently. It shifts learning from memorizing to understanding. And honestly, we don't need to do anything extremely big to make an impact. Small changes are already meaningful. Reducing paper usage, encouraging discussions, or even just being mindful of what we say in class can slowly build awareness among students. Another thing that I think is our strength is how comfortable we are with technology. We understand the digital world that students are living in right now. Instead of seeing it as a distraction, we can turn it into a helping tool. When we bring in videos, interactive activities, or even simple online tools, learning becomes more engaging. And when students are engaged, they don't just learn better, they also become more open to values and ideas that we are trying to share. But there's one thing I personally feel is very important. It's this: students want to be heard. Sometimes we focus too much on delivering content that we forgot to listen. But when we give students space to express their thoughts, something changes. They become more confident, more involved, and more responsible for their own learning. And I think that is the heart of a Madani society. A society where voices are respected, where voices are heard, where people feel valued, and where everyone has a role to play. So, as I reflect on my journey as a trainee teacher, I realize that we are still learning, still growing, and still figuring things out. But even at this stage, we already have the ability to influence others. A sustainable Madani society doesn't suddenly appear in the future. It is built slowly through the actions we take every single day in our classrooms. So maybe the real question is not whether we are ready, but whether we are willing to take that responsibility. That's all from me. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today, I will be presenting a talk entitled How the Voices of Young Teachers Shape a Sustainable Madani Society. As a trainee teachers, we are standing at the beginning of a profession that carries more responsibility than we sometimes realize. Teaching is not only about delivering knowledge, but also about shaping individuals and ultimately shaping the society. When we talk about voice, we often think about speaking or expressing opinions. However, in the context of teaching, our voice goes beyond words. It includes our actions, our decisions, and the way we interact with our students on a daily basis. In many ways, young teachers act as carriers of values. A Madani society is built on principles such as respect, empathy, and responsibility. These are not values that can simply be taught through definitions. Instead, they are demonstrated through behavior. For instance, the way we respond to challenges in the classroom can influence how students learn to manage their own emotions. The way we treat students can shape how they treat others. In this sense, our voice is reflected not only in what we say, but also in what we consistently do. At the same time, young teachers are in a strong position to connect education with real world issues. Being part of a younger generation, we are more aware of current challenges, whether they involve environmental concerns, social issues, or the well being of individuals. This awareness allows us to bring relevance into the classroom. When students are able to see how what they learn connects to real life, learning becomes even more meaningful. It encourages them to think beyond examinations and consider their role in the society. In addition, young teachers play an important role in promoting sustainable mindsets. Sustainability is often associated with environmental issues, but it also includes social and ethical dimensions. It involves making decisions that consider long term impact rather than short term convenience. Through our teaching, we can guide students to think critically, to question, and to reflect. Over time, this helps them develop a sense of responsibility not only towards themselves but also towards others and the community. Another important aspect is the role of young teachers in empowering students' voices. A Madani society values inclusivity and participation. In the classroom, this can be reflected by creating an environment where students feel safe to express their thoughts. When students are encouraged to share ideas and engage in discussions, they become more confident and more invested in their own learning. More importantly, they learn that their opinions matter, which is a key element in building a responsible and participative society. The effectiveness of our voice also depends greatly on how we communicate. As teachers, it is not enough to simply have ideas. We must be able to express them in a way that is clear, structured, and meaningful. Communication is at the heart of teaching, and the way we deliver our message determines whether it truly reaches our students. This requires us to organize our thoughts carefully, use appropriate and cohesive language, and adapt our communication according to the context. In the classroom, we may need to simplify complex ideas so that students of different abilities can understand. At other times, we may need to explain concepts in more depth, encourage discussion, or guide students to think critically. Outside the classroom, our communication extends to colleagues, parents, and the wider community, where professionalism and clarity are equally important. When we communicate effectively, we do more than deliver content. We create understanding. The use of cohesive language, clear explanations, and thoughtful delivery allows our ideas to flow smoothly and makes it easier for others to follow and engage. This not only helps students learn better, but also builds a positive and respectful learning environment. At the same time, the way we communicate reflects who we are as educators. When we speak with confidence, we inspire trust. When we listen actively, we show respect and empathy. When we respond thoughtfully, we encourage openness and participation. These qualities help us build strong relationships with our students, which are essential for meaningful learning to take place. Moreover, communication is not only about speaking, it is also about influence. As teachers, our words can shape perspectives, attitudes, and behaviors. A simple encouragement can boost a student's confidence. A thoughtful question can inspire deeper thinking. A kind response can make a student feel valued and heard. This shows that our voice carries power, and how we choose to use it matters. In conclusion, the role of young teachers in shaping a sustainable Madani society is both significant and ongoing. Our contribution goes beyond delivering lessons. It lies in the values we model, the environment we create, and the impact we have on our students' lives. Through our teaching practices, our daily interactions, and our commitment to continuous improvement, we help nurture individuals who are not only knowledgeable but also responsible, ethical, and compassionate. As trainee teachers, we may still be learning, gaining experience, and developing our skills. However, this does not mean that our voices are insignificant. In fact, our voices already influence those around us in many ways. Every explanation we give, every piece of advice we offer, and every interaction we have contributes to shaping our students' learning experiences. Therefore, it is important for us to use our voice with awareness, responsibility, and purpose. We must strive to communicate with clarity, act with integrity, and teach with sincerity. By doing so, we not only fulfill our role as educators, but also contribute to building a better and more sustainable society. Let us aim to become teachers who do more than just deliver knowledge. Let us become educators who inspire, who guide, and who empower. Because in the end, the future of society is shaped not only by what we teach, but by how we teach and by the voices that our students choose to remember. That's all from me. Thank you.